Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today I've got real quick tips and tricks here for finding your settings for your types of material. I get asked all the time, what kind of settings do you use? 9 times out of 10, they're almost always the same, and I'll show you a real quick, easy way to find them, and then if it doesn't work for you, how to find the correct ones for you so you can make custom settings that would work for you and for your preference. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. This is our new split business card and services display. It kind of looks like this right here if you're curious what it looks like finished. If you want that, you can get it on freshstartcustoms.com. But with the actual settings here, this one is made for proof grade material, so you would just use regular proof grade settings with a proof grade sheet of wood, and then you should be good to go. But let's say, for example, you want to use uncertified material or non-proof grade material, like Baltic birch, for example. So for those settings, all I do is I actually use proof grade settings, and you're probably wondering, if you don't know this already, how are you going to do that? To do that, all you got to do is select up top here where it says unknown. You're going to click medium maple plywood here. That's what I use all the time. No matter what type of like 1/8 inch material it is, it usually works for it. If it doesn't, you can slow it down and it will cut through too. So this is pretty much all I do to cut this through on like Baltic birch, for example. On 1/8 inch Baltic birch. I'll show you how to do 1/4 inch here in just a second, and then we'll talk about acrylic too in just a second. But I like to make things nice, simple, and easy. This is literally how I would do it, and then I would set focus and then print, and then I'm good to go. Now, let's go ahead and let's say it's not cutting through for some reason. Like if your lenses are dirty, you may want to clean those. But if for some reason your material is a little bit more dense, I know Baltic birch is pretty lightweight, but if it's a little bit more dense, let's just click over here. You can click this little arrow next to proof grade cut. It shows you its current settings right now, and if you need to slow it down, you can slow it down a little bit, go down to like 150 or 145, and you can test out each process. So I would probably test 150 first with like a little circle. Just make yourself a circle, cut it out, and then go down to 145, and then so on until you find the right settings that works to cut yours out. But 9 times out of 10, if you just click the back button, go to proof grade here, those proof grade settings will work for most materials there, believe it or not. And then if you ever have to slow it down, and then that may cause a little bit more burns on the edges, but you just wipe that off with like a wet paper towel, and then you're good to go. Now let's talk about 1/4 inch wood. 1/4 inch wood, I do the same thing. You just come up here, click on thick maple plywood. And then usually that's good to go unless your material is a little bit more dense. I always like to change this one down to 130 just to be safe. So I usually change 1/4 inch to 130. That almost always works for me. 130 full speed. And then I always just base it off of thick maple plywood. That way the set focus and everything just works perfectly in my opinion. So that's how I find my settings and then how I work off of it. As far as engraves go, I literally just use proof grade settings every single time on everything. If there's something that I don't like on acrylic, I rarely ever engrave on acrylic, but I'll probably do some fine tuning on engraves on acrylic, but you can do it just like I showed you there. Now, let's talk about acrylic really quick. A lot of people are like, is there anything special I got to do with acrylic? Not really. With acrylic, I do the exact same thing. I just click up here, and then I usually go to, I just type in like clear. I click thick, clear, acrylic, and that's it. I use those settings for any like colored acrylics. If for some reason it doesn't cut through, then you can change that speed, but just make sure if you're going to use proof grade, it's going to be on here for proof grade material. As you can see now that I switched it over, acrylic has to cut a lot slower. This is the basic setup for proof grade settings for it, is 115 speed, full power on a Glowforge basic. But that's pretty much it, you guys. That is literally how easy it is to find your settings and how to fine-tune them. I hope this video helped you guys out, and I hope you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.